So on Instagram, I came across another heatless curl technique using scrunchies. So I'm going to try that today. I washed my hair this morning with shampoo, conditioner, and then leave-in, and I just let it air dry. This is how it's looking right now. So let's get into the tutorial experiment. So first of all, I'm making sure that my hair is nice and detangled. And then in the tutorial that I saw, she used I can't remember what these combs are called. Is it a fishtail comb? I don't know. A comb with a pointy end. And she used that to kind of do a zigzag at the back of her head. I won't know if my hair turned out as a zigzag until I'm editing this and watching the footage over. I think it turned out as a zigzag, not sure. And I believe this is a good trick to make sure that you do not get a harsh parting when doing these kind of heatless hairstyles. That's something that I haven't done before on other heatless hairstyles I've done, so curious how it's going to turn out today doing that technique, if it's going to make a difference. Now that the hair is split in two, I'm grabbing one scrunchie, and okay, I hope I did this right. The tutorial that I watched, the video I came across, it was really quick and sometimes I get confused like which way the hair is going, which way her hand is going, so I hope I did it right, but I don't know. Anyway, I pulled a strand of hair through the scrunchie, then I kind of put my hand through my scrunchie and grabbed the strand that I just pulled through plus some extra hair and pulled that through, and I carried on that process all the way down my hair until I'd finished adding all of my hair to the scrunchie, and then what was left over I wrapped it around the scrunchie. I didn't twist the scrunchie at all, it stayed like round and didn't get twisted, I don't think. And I kept putting my hand through the scrunchie to grab the hair to pull it through, and that was it really. I forgot to grab some small claw clips, so for the time being I just clipped it up with my big claw clip, and I will switch to small ones when I'm gonna go to sleep. Also, when I was clipping it up, the scrunchie felt a bit loose, so I kind of twisted it a bit to try and, I don't know, tighten the curls, I guess, and then clipped it. And then I moved to the other side, and on the other side, I was so confused at the beginning. I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but at this point, I wanted to pull the hair through in the opposite direction, but then I realized that I didn't do it that way for the other side, so it took a little while for me to realize what I was doing and where I was and where I was going. But eventually I figured it out and did the same again, started pulling hair through, wrapping it around, pulling more hair, wrapping it around, pulling more hair, wrapping it around. This side of my head has a lot more hair, so I'm curious how the two sides are gonna differentiate between each other. And I also noticed on this side, once I'd finished adding all my hair, I only had like a small little bit of hair left over to wrap around my scrunchie, whereas on the other side I had a longer piece. So not sure what happened there, if that's going to change the results at all. This routine, the way that the hair is kind of wrapping around the scrunchie, reminds me a little bit of robe curls, just with a scrunchie really. I'm very curious how this is going to compare to my other scrunchie curls video I did, and also the robe curls. I'm curious how this will turn out. In the tutorial I watched on Instagram, her hair was it turned out kind of like in my scrunchie curl video, but I would say the hair was like a bit more bent in places. So interested to see how this is going to turn out. When I was done on the other side, I kind of twisted my hair a little bit and kind of tried to pull the scrunchie near the back of my head just so that the big clip could reach both scrunchies and hold my hair in place. Like I said, I will be taking this clip out later and putting smaller ones in so that I can actually sleep. I hate sleeping with clips in my hair though, so that's going to be fun. This is how it's looking so far. It is evening now, so I will hopefully get a good night's sleep with this in my hair, and I'll be back tomorrow morning, tomorrow midday, to take this down and see what we're left with. How's my hair looking tomorrow. So it is the next morning, and in the end I did sleep with the clip in my hair. It was in a position where it was at the top of my head, so it didn't really bother me while I was sleeping. I didn't notice it, so I left it there. I started by taking out my left side, and I just kind of slowly started to unravel it the same way that I put it in. Once I took all of this side down, it looked a little anticlimactic at this point. It didn't really have much going for it. That side was kind of easy to take out. There weren't really any tangles going on, so that was great. Then I moved on to the other side. The other side I somehow managed to put in tighter. This side was a struggle to take out. I could not find the end of my hair to start unraveling it. I couldn't even find pieces of my hair to start unraveling, so I don't know what my technique here was to try and get it out. I was just kind of pulling and jiggling and hoping for the best. So I don't know if that affected the results. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. Once I took this side down, this side is even more disappointing than the other. There's pretty much zero definition on this side compared to the other side. The other side looks flat, but at least that side had definition. I then fluffed out my roots to get some volume and flipped my hair right side up, and these are the results. The left side looks gorgeous. It looks pretty, but the right side, there's not really any definition on that side, and it looks a bit of a mess. So I'm gonna say that this was a fail, or in the future I would have to do 2 scrunchies on that side maybe to get nicer results. Maybe it was too much hair, and maybe my scrunchie was too small, possibly. So on my right side you can kind of see I only really have definition kind of in the couple of front pieces right at the root, and then at the back you can kind of see at the end of some pieces there's a little cute curl going on, but it looks like I've only styled one side of my hair and forgot to do the other. So in conclusion to this little experiment, I do not like this version of Scrunchie Curls. It was more hassle to do. It was more difficult. It was much more uncomfy. So yeah, and the results were not great. So if I were to do Scrunchie Curls, I definitely prefer the other version of Scrunchie Curls that you can find on my channel. Here is some more content from me that I think you might enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye!